Hey everyone, Michael O'Brien here, and today we're going to be doing a new segment in my Advice for Magicians playlist that I like to call You're Doing It Wrong. Alright, so before I get started, I know that title sounds kind of rude, right? Like, you're doing it wrong! But really, the heart of this video series is going to be things that I notice that magicians do that are kind of, maybe they're bad habits, or maybe they're just not quite having the effect live up to its potential. So just some advice on how I would improve that if I was them. And maybe some of you guys are having some of these, same issues, or maybe you didn't even know that they were issues, and then you're looking at it now and you're going, wow, man, you're right. Like, that's like, I don't know why I'm doing that. That kind of gives the method away, or whatever, right? So in this episode, I wanted to talk about the double lift and some ways that you can kind of improve upon your double lift, because I see a lot of people doing double lift or double turnovers, and it's just like so obvious that you're doing a double lift. And I'm not even talking about card splitting. There's just tells that magicians do when they're getting ready to go into a double lift or when they're doing the double lift. So there's thousands of variations on the double lift. I'm not going to talk about all of them here, but what I am going to talk about is just 3 of the ones that I think are the easiest to fix, that's going to make your double lift just look a lot better. They might be a little nitpicky, but honestly I think that if you kind of focus in and you take those nitpicks into consideration and change them and improve upon them, it will really improve the double lift overall. So number 1, lifting a ton of bricks. Now, there's a lot of times that I see magicians and they go in to do their double lift and they're doing like all this cardistry stuff, right? And the cards are like all loosey-goosey. And then they go to do their double lift and it looks like this. Right? And then whatever the magic move is, and you're like, is that your card? Right? So what happened? I thought you were lifting a ton of bricks there. Like, right? So I actually learned this watching an old Di Vernon video. He talks about, you're just lifting a piece of paper. You're not trying to turn over a car, right? It's just a piece of paper, like, right? So what I like to do when I have my double, is I use the deck to keep it square, and I actually almost let go and let it fall onto the deck, rather than pinching to try to keep the card square and then setting it down on the deck, if that makes sense. So you can just let it fall. And then these fingers here will keep the cards square so that they don't separate. Just like that. So that's one really easy, simple way that you can make your double lift look better, right? So you're not doing this, but rather you're, well, no, don't do that. That's like a triple lift. Let's try that again. You're not doing this, right? You're just doing that. Second thing is the get ready to the double lift. A lot of times we'll see people do this. Right? Now, sometimes you want to prep your double lift, and that's totally fine. I'm not saying not to do it, right? Me personally, I don't prep my double lifts. I just go in for like a strike double. I just dig in there with my index finger and I get 2 cards. With some practice, you can do that. But let's just say you don't want to do that. You want to actually prep your double lift, right? You want to do a pinky count or a push-off double to kind of get into it. That's completely fine. Just don't do this, because that telegraphs that you're doing a double lift. You just showed them that you're prepping 2 cards by doing that, and it just gives it away. So how do you do that instead? It's really simple. In fact, I'm going to do it for you now. I just did it. That's 2 cards. So you can do the same pinky count or push off double that you're used to doing. Just do it in the offbeat. What do I mean by that? Don't do it when you're drawing attention to it. Don't do this. Your card is now on top. Right? Or your card is now on top. Right? You know what I mean? So instead, you can do something like this, right? So your card is not on the top of the deck, it's not on the bottom of the deck. On the count of 3, I'm going to snap and your card's going to come up to the top. Right? And now you've just done the move. And then the card's already on top. So I did it in the offbeat, the moment in between while I'm kind of, you know, talking. So all I'm going to do is like this push off double. I'm going to get a break under 2 cards. But I do it, you know, when I'm gesturing or I'm talking. So I just did it right there again. I know I'm dipping out of frame, so I'm kind of cheating. I'm going to try to keep it up here so you guys can see, right? Try to see the moment that you guys can actually catch me, the moment that I actually do the move. There it goes again. I keep dipping out of frame. I'm sorry. Let me try to keep it. I'll keep it up here so you guys can see, right? Because I don't want you to think that I'm cheating. I just did it, right? So just do it in the offbeat while you're talking. You can ask a question. You can say, you know, I'm so sorry. What was your name again? Johnny? Johnny, watch. If I snap my fingers, your card's down on the top, right? So there's a lot of different ways that you can kind of create an offbeat to do that. Just make sure that you're doing these prep moves before, you know, during an offbeat, not when all of the heat is on you. Because if I go like this and then go like this, that looks awkward. Like, why wouldn't I just turn the card over, right? Now, the third one, I will be honest, this one is a little bit nitpicky. But the third one is specifically for people that do a double turnover. And then placing that single card down on the table or in the spectator's hand to then, you know, change the card to another card. So I'm talking, of course, about, you know, this thing, right? So the 3 of diamonds, and then you have them hold out their hand. You set it in their hand, and then it changes to their chosen card. So, it's on the floor. So what I like to do, there's a little thought experiment for you. Hand your layman friend or your mom or your wife or your husband or whoever, hand them a deck of cards and say, show me the top card of the deck, and then place it on the table. I guarantee you what they're going to do is this. Right? So why is it that as magicians we do this? Well, the answer is obvious, because I have to either do a top change or some kind of sleight to switch the cards, right? In this case, let's just say I'm doing like a double, right? I have to put the double back on the deck so that I can switch it. So how do I make this move look less suspicious? Again, the answer is really simple. In the offbeat, you just motivate the move. Now, when I say motivate the move, what do I mean? Do I mean like you sit the move down and you have like a little pep talk with it? Not quite. What I mean is you're going to give some kind of justification to why you had to put the card back on the deck. And it could be as simple as this, right? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hand you the 9 of hearts. I'm sorry. Hold out your hand just like this. Perfect. I'm going to hand you the 9 of hearts. So you see how I kind of created an offbeat there? Like, it's not the 9 of hearts anymore. I've switched it already. So one more time. I'm going to go ahead and give you the 4 of spades. I'm sorry. Hold out your hand just like this. Perfect. The 4 of spades. And then it changes. All right? Or let's just say here. Let me go ahead and change the position a little bit so you guys can see my beautiful table here. Shout out to Mike Armstrong for making me such a gorgeous close-up pad / gig table. But so let's just say you could, oh my goodness, you could totally see my PJs. So here's the magic of filmmaking right here, or the magic of COVID Zoomness. You think I'm in my suit, but really, where are my PJs? My South Park PJs. Anyways, so let's get back on track here. So you can even do something like this, right? Like here, so I have this card. I'm gonna go ahead and place it right here on the table. Sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and place it right there on the table, just like this. Snap, and it changes. Or, you know, you can even do this. I'm gonna go ahead and take this card here. I'm gonna place it right there on the table, just like this. Right? Any little beat that you can add in the middle to kind of motivate that move. And the beat can be small. I'm not asking you to like make a big deal out of it. You know, something as simple as, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to give you this card here, right? I freed up this hand to do something, point, gesture, take the lint off the table and throw it away, whatever it is. So watching this video, you guys got 3 things to think about anytime you're going to do a double lift. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys do any of these things and if this video was helpful, or let me know if you guys have any suggestions yourself for ways that you can improve on your double lift. So just to kind of go over this one more time, in this video specifically, we talked about, you know, that little motivating the move thing where you gesture and then set it down. We talked about using offbeats to prep so that you're not doing it while they're burning your hands. And we talked about, you know, handling the cards very gently and lightly when you're doing your turnovers and things. As an honorable mention, I would also recommend anytime you're doing a double lift to try your best to turn the card over the same way that you would turn over a card normally. So like, you know, you don't want to do all of this like, and then do that, you know, like if you're gonna be flashy, like if you're gonna, you know, do like a strike double or whatever, and then, you know, like I would recommend doing the single lift the same way, you know, so that everything looks kind of similar. You know, if you're going to turn, as much as I'm not a fan of this double lift, if you're going to turn a card over like that doing a double lift, you should also make sure that you're going to turn a single card over that way too, just to kind of keep everything, you know, looking the same. But those are my tips for how to improve on your double lift. So for those of you who are doing your double lift wrong, now you know.